Hi, my name is Alexey Archipenko, and today I'd like to talk about visualizing your music tracks. So what exactly is music visualization? It is creating some dynamically changing image that changes accordingly to the changes in the audio. It means that this image accompanies your music and emphasizes some particular moments of it and adds additional information. You can see links to the examples of music visualization below the video. So why would you like to create some visualization? If you created some interesting music, you can want to create visualization because people are interested to look at something while they are listening. Also, people are interested in how the music is created, how the music is built, of which building blocks. So you can achieve new listeners, perhaps those that are not just interested in your music, but who are also interested in how the music is created, how it is built, and who are interested in how the virtual instruments are used, how they are set up. Today there are a lot of video publication sites where there are a lot of people watching videos every day, and so you can get new audience. The other cause of creating music visualization is to analyze your music. So you can watch some interesting analysis, dynamic analysis, and find out some interesting things about your piece, about your track that you didn't know. Of course, there can be a lot of techniques for creating the visualization. I divided them into several categories, and most of them are on this slide. The first category is native visualization. It is visualizing the program that you use to create music. Just show how the program uses your settings, uses your piano roll, your notes, your sheet music, your score. Show how the contact virtual instrument behaves during the playing, for example. It is a native visualization. The MIDI visualization is exporting your MIDI and importing it into some other application that will show some new visualization. The third row is just the recording applications. The next type of visualization is audio analysis. These applications analyze the resulting waveform that you created. For example, players like Winamp and iTunes have some built-in and additional visualizers like Whitecap, Milkdrop, and others. And they analyze your waveform and show some dynamic pictures, dynamic images that are changing according to the changes in your audio. Then you can create your own visualizer, which will not guess what to show, but will know exactly what to show to the listener, to the audience, because it will not randomly guess, randomly choose some different scenes, but it will take some particular scenes that you will program, some particular objects, and show them moving and transforming with the music. Of course, this type of visualization is much more difficult because you need to know how to work in these programs, or you need to find a partner who will do it for you. And the last way that I will talk about, taking some video that you have, just cropping it, splitting it, and making the clip out of some video that fits your music well. Also, you can just use some still image or maybe slideshow, but usually it attracts less listeners. So let's talk about native visualization first. I will start talking about Sibelius as one of the main applications that are used for creating the score. Also, it may be finale. So when you created your score in Sibelius, you can just export it as video using the file menu, export and video. You can choose what instruments you need to show, maybe just 3 instruments. And also you can export directly to the YouTube. So Sibelius will create video and upload it to YouTube. If your music creation application does not allow such an export, you can just start playback from the beginning, start recording video with some application like Camtasia Studio, or Fraps, and you will record this video. After that, you understand that in this video there will be some audio that is not so very good, because it will use some Sibelius sounds, it will not use some cool articulations or something like that. Even if you use some contact instruments in Sibelius, you have less opportunities to set them up here. So usually you set up the articulation and the sound in some music sequencer like Cubase or something like that. So you can export audio from your sequencer and then load this audio into your video in some editor, for example Cubase Studio or Adobe Premiere. The important thing about this is that you need your audio to be synchronized with your video. And this not only means that you need to import it so that it starts at the point where the first note shows, but also you need to guarantee that your notes did not change in your sequencer. So if you change something in your sequencer, you should mirror your changes in the music notation software like Sibelius. One more important thing is tempo. Usually you export tempo from, for example, Sibelius to Cubase using MIDI, but sometimes you need to change tempo in Cubase additionally. For example, increase the length of fermata or decrease or increase some tempo. So if you do this, then your video of your music notation software will be out of sync with your audio. You will need to mirror your changes that you did in music sequencing program in the music notation program. But there is often a problem with this, because in Cubase and other music sequencing programs, tempo changes in a different way than in music notation programs. In music notation you use these retardando symbols and lines and direct changes of tempo. And in Sibelius you can draw the curve that will represent the tempo. So if you need to change the tempo, for example, after you have already exported the piece, the best way is to use these exact tempo markings, and in your music sequencing program also use exact changes of tempo. Select the staircase. The other way is that you can export MIDI again, then import it into new project in your music sequencing program, then export tempo track from there and import tempo track into the current project that you are working with. This will help you to preserve the settings that you already did in your music sequencing program. But this requires that you do not change the measures so that all the measure numbers are the same. So you do not add measures, because in music sequencing programs adding measures is usually a little bit difficult, especially in terms of tempo track. Now let me show you an example of visualized in Sibelius music track. You can find a lot of examples on my channel. So here is the example of the directly exported track from Sibelius into YouTube. So these sounds are not very good. And here is an example of exporting video from Sibelius and then replacing the audio with the mastered audio from Cubase. So you hear that the sound is very good, and also that it is synced to the video. The next way to visualize your track is just to show how it looks like when Cubase plays your track. The first way is just to show the tracks, like this. The next way is to choose the most important and most interesting instrument, for example the solo instrument, and show the video with this instrument only. You will need to set the zoom so that all the notes fall into your zoom window, but also there is no unneeded white space, like this for example. Then you can increase it, horizontal zoom, and play. Cubase doesn't have an exporting video function, so you can just use some other program like Camtasia or Fraps to record this video. And after that, I recommend that you always import the mastered audio track over the video, because if you record audio with video, even if it is Cubase, then the quality may be degraded due to different reasons depending on the recording track. The next way is to select all the tracks that are interesting and open the piano roll with all these tracks and then show video of playing of all these tracks. This is of course interesting because it shows the whole spectrum of the notes, the whole score if you want it. The problem with this way is that often the notes overlap, and this looks strange and is not easily understood. Of course you can press different notes to select different tracks to show them in different places during the playback, like this. But you should not forget that when you press the notes, they sound, so that it is very important that you replace the audio after recording the video. You can use coloring of parts or channels as you need. There can be some other ways to visualize your tracks. For example, you can record several videos, each video having a separate piano roll, and then you can stack separate piano rolls vertically like this. For example, first piano roll here, then here you can add the other piano roll and so on. And the other way that you can use is to change piano rolls, change tracks during the playback. I show this in an example of Rock 55 example, heavy cover. So the first I show the guitar, and then I switch to other instruments when there are no new notes. For example, when the guitar starts to repeat the passage. So for example, you can write the scenario, the script, where you change from one track to another at what point in time and just change. So this is pretty useful for those who want to see how every instrument is set up. But on the other hand, it is a little bit jokey. When you change the tracks, it is not very good looking. So this is what you can do, for example, in Cubase. Also, in some instruments, you can show how they work. Like, for example, here I created a video of the amber tone Friedlander violin playing. So during the playback you can see the vibrato changing, the legato staccato changing, articulations, and this shows some particular articulations and so on. By the way, also you see the VST expressions here. So this is about native visualization, which is usually very interesting, especially to those who also create and write music like you. But you can also add some variety using additional applications. For example, you can use MAMP application, Music Animation Machine, MIDI Player, this is the site. So this application takes your MIDI. Let me show you. You open the application, then you open MIDI, then you select the type of visualization, and you start your recording engine, some program that will record the screen, and play spacebar, and it starts. So the notes that are played are highlighted, the piano roll is moving, so like this, okay? Here are a lot of different types of visualizations here. You can also select what the color will mean, and also they have a pretty good user guide that explains all the types of visualization. This program is very old. It is 2006. You can also analyze the pitch classes sounding and draw the circle of fifths coloring. Also, it can add some intervals between the notes that are playing. These intervals can be shown on the moving lane. Also, it can differentiate different instruments with shapes, show pitch classes with pitches, also determine the tonality, and show the tonal stability, tonal equilibrium, show tonal equilibrium, tonal compass, and the piano roll at the same time. Then show pitch classes in some lattice display. This is something like lines, piano roll, and trajectory piano roll. The other program that I will show is MIDI Trail. Here is the site. So you also open the program, then open the MIDI file in it, and then play. So interesting about this program is that you can move the point of view, and also you can move using your arrow keys inside this area. So also you can move up and down using page up and page down, so you can create some interesting view, or maybe you can move even during the playback like this. There are also different types. Piano roll 3D. Like this, for example. Also there is 2D, the same thing, and multiple piano roll. Also with moving. So to use these programs, you need to export your MIDI from your sequencer, maybe from your music notation software. Then you record the video, and you replace the audio with your mastered audio track. The next category of visualizers is those that analyze the audio signal, the waveform. I will show, for example, the Winamp. Here is the Winamp playing, and I can select some visualizer, for example, Whitecap, play. You can see that it is not very smooth when the music is not playing. That is alright. So you can of course make it full screen and then record the high quality video. I will not do it for the recording now. So the interesting thing about this visualizer is that you can control different wave shapes. You can select start wave shape, then you can select the wave shapes that are used, and also you can select colors that are used and that are used at the start, backgrounds and so on. So you can customize it so that it suits your track better. When using these visualizers, I usually recommend that you record several different takes, and then you can decide if you like some of the takes. The other visualizer is Milk Drop. It is a more old one. It is better suited for some electronic music, but it is very colorful and interesting also. Below this video you will find this link that will show you some other examples of music visualization software, usually based on the audio analysis, waveform analysis. The next category of visualization is creating your own visualizer. For example, I will show using After Effects example. (3ds Max). Cinema 4D. And also Blender. As for the video recording applications, there are a lot of comparisons of the net, so you can read them, choose your own favorite application, but I can recommend two of them. They're Camtasia Studio and Fraps. So Fraps is the most accurate. It creates the best picture, but it does not have enough possibilities for editing and also for controlling the video recording. Also, sometimes it does not work okay. For example, it has some conflicts with Logitech SetPoint application. On the other hand, Camtasia Studio is pretty universal. It records almost everything, but sometimes the video is not very smooth. And also it has some problems recording the real video simulations like OpenGL and so on. So in these particular situations, if you have not very smooth recording, you can use Fraps. Today there are a lot of sites where you can publish your video and audio, and you can find several links comparing these different sites below my video. For video I can recommend YouTube, and for audio, SoundCloud. This is the end of this tutorial. I hope that it will help you to create your music visualization. I'm waiting for you in my future videos, and have a nice day.